I took the Zoya, Peter woman in our lady, Navio Port, put a map of Huyantare, a time of the chief of Vido, Jodovaya. Yojina, Kuwa Koko, Chili, Kowari. Don't have to do it. Simila Atoka. The Tialina Yoyala. The letter Adovalacia. Kyoto so challenge that a hooker last ravoli. Go over 64 dollars. To roll it. You move the shoes or the chair now. Now, by another 2,000 Mobile. Some are you call the detail over 2,000. To the level, some moves of the chair, I don't know. The Kuabo don't have for the water. Pamato, Yonkiva Lulu, Yonki Suraga, go to the figure to Yato the figure. Cubo, Yobo, Jona, Resolution. You see, she couldn't keep like that, she don't travel. Like you see, so that's something else. So she is now. Papa has something else. Timothy singing about it. So let's see, the next thing is to say, no, say for yoga, come out. Look at so full of that together. Everything out there, see Baba, you see who are there, triple over. You see at the road, somebody at the corner. Somebody is Raga, no one somebody calling up who call out. The Gugala, no one somebody is calling to a mosquito Baba. No one somebody call out to Atolo, sit out the woman. I come home. See, I can't stop what I tell you. Look who look down as a look here. Go to the go for the fire, so the go pull down. But this is when it gives you the sauna. But the way I think you have sauna. But I'm sure that I see a sauna. I'm very well. You see that go, told you about it, to that thing of Wajwara, said I made a solution that it has something for her. The other book with my eye, you were. Let me use you. To do so, I am system of the body, cooler than the women, so the art of our. Hello, art of the Sama, Kalena Mika, correct, to Tansia, Sindalo, Buga, Luja, Sasha, order or time. Kuyu Yavi, so we say, no, to Yogi Varo, the Chassi, the other body is a bit about it. So to the Yona, the area from her. A good city, a good get order. How get this body. That is all. Common people are over. အဲ့ဒီပိုင်ရောက်လာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့အစိတ်ဆက်တာအထုဒီဘဝမှာတရားသူရောက်ဖို့တော့သိကြပါတယ်ကွာအဲ့ဒါမနေ့ကပြောခဲ့တဲ့ဟာလေးကိုပြန်ပြီးတော့သတိရအောင်ပေါ့လေအဆုတ်ပြန်ပြီးတော့ပြောပါလေစိတ်ရည်ကြည်လို့ပြောရတာပါ
Yesterday, Sayadawgyi spoke about the 5 qualities that meditating yogis need to come to possess, according to what the Buddha taught. And Sayadawgyi mentioned this in summary yesterday. So the yogis need to examine their life, their situation. Coming here to practice, do I have faith in this practice? And if I practice according to the method, is it true that I can gain an effective result? So do I have faith in this? So if we are wavering about this, if we lack faith, then effective effort won't arise. And no matter how good our health is, without faith, effort will not arise. And even if our attitude is upright and honest, still, without faith, effort won't arise. So whatever one is going to do, one should trust. And if one is going to do or say something, one is encountering the opportunity to do or say something for one's own benefit or for the benefit of others, one should have the ability to reflect, is this beneficial or not, that I'm about to do? This is called Panca Padhaniyanga, clear comprehension of whether something is beneficial or not. And further, is this action or speech, this plan, is it suitable or not? This is called Sayadawgyi, clear comprehension of suitability. When something we're going to do or say is both beneficial and suitable, if we do that thing, then it is sure that benefits will come, and also faith will arise from what we do. Confidence in what we're doing will arise. And just as one needs to have faith in what one is doing, one also needs to have health. Today, there's no one who's completely healthy. So, as Sayadawgyi mentioned, if we were going to wait until we had perfect health to undertake the practice, we wouldn't ever do it. So this quality of having good health is not a fixed amount. It's not possible to quantify this amount and say exactly how much health we need. Further, honesty, being upright and honest, is very important. If one is going to do something, then one has to be open about one's limitations and one's faults. And one shouldn't hide one's faults, and one shouldn't pretend to be free of fault when one isn't. One shouldn't also pretend to have qualities that one doesn't possess. One shouldn't talk about qualities that one doesn't have, trying to impress other people. And if these habits, these behaviors of pretending about covering our faults or pretending about qualities we don't have, if these are not things that we do, then one is upright. And meditators need to have this type of quality of being upright and honest. Furthermore, practice requires continuous, courageous effort. And, sorry, I have to, if at this time, sorry, I'm not finished, but I can't quite, I lost the track of what I was saying. So one needs to have courageous and continuous effort in the practice. And at this time, if one has the help of a good spiritual friend, a Kalyana Mitta, who can give guidance according to what the Buddha taught as needed, then in a short time one will be able to develop in the practice, and one will come to know very well mind and matter, how these arise due to cause and effect, how they are related as cause and effect, and how they arise and pass away very quickly. If one reaches this stage in the practice, then continue, because you are sure to gain special Dhamma. So this is, because this topic is very important, Sayadawgyi is saying it again to remind the yogis about it.
Yogiya, Jiya Ma Kauma, Tavido Mara, the Kauna Sovego. Jiya Ma Kaulu, Tamaya Magomu, Teddy Tower. The Jiya take you. Tromena Yogi Yaro, Jiya Mago, take Uzama Pizao. Uzama Pero, Teaga, Tuvisaja, you took it around him. Taking the moon, she was a dear, Tuvisaja took it around him. Some Shakira, they say, Tia Amagolo, Saravoli. Tia Tamari, Kawamialo, Saravoli, Tamakote, Saravoli. A day material level, actually, we are lonely, low Saravoli. So you were a lot of the whole net together on the Shiva. So that you could take Saravoli. Yogi is go a Kayutavi selection. Yogi adopted the Rema. Yogi Sao Sejoma we are a look, but I are a look. Lucia Tana, Bobby Look is a look. Look at the Penhama. So once in the other look up to Hava, so we are the look up to Hava. Look at my coca, Lucia, no. To the other thing you do. Coca to leather, so let that people statement with all. The long number level, set a video, look for the level, for you to take it up later. So the local doggy woman in the studio. Yogi made a yogi town. Yogi Loma town, the sea of the selection. So the Yogi Loma town, you move a trip body. You see the way for a body. So this is the way we will do it.
Only if the walking meditation is good will the sitting meditation be good. Walking meditation is very important. And many yogis, however, do not give priority to walking meditation and therefore they don't have any special progress in the practice. They don't develop a pure mind, and they don't develop knowledge. If one examines the cause, it is because their walking meditation is not good, and the samadhi developed in walking meditation is not good. And furthermore, people don't observe their general activities in detail, and that is another reason for knowledge not to develop yet. So if one has taken on the role of a yogi, if one is in the realm or the world of meditators, then it's only worthwhile if one is going to fulfill the responsibility of a yogi. If we think in terms of the world, if we have a job where we get paid for what we do, if we don't put in the amount of effort required, if we don't do the things that are needed to do the job, then our superiors won't want to give us very much money, whether it's a public job or whether it's a private job. No one is going to want to give you very much money if you don't fulfill give full energy to it. And so if one is lazy about doing one's work, then it's not easy to get paid, and one won't have much chance for either continuing or advancing. So if one is a yogi, there's a responsibility that one has, and the most important thing for the yogi is to fulfill that responsibility. So one should nurture this attitude, this mental attitude.
လူကြီးရဲ့အနေနဲ့ကခီးရန်လျှောက်ပုံတွေပေါ့လေအတုပ်ပုံတွေစပြောတော့ပါတယ်ဒီတလားမှာတစ်ချက်မှတ်တဲ့လူလှမ်းတယ်တော့ညာလန်းတယ်ဘယ်လန်းတယ်ပေါ့လေဒီရောက်လက်ကြည့်အောင်ပေါ့လေခက်တဲ့စိတ်မလို့ရအောင်ဒီကလမ်းမှာနှစ်ပိုင်းကြွားရတယ်တစ်ပိုင်းချတာတစ်ပိုင်းပေါ့လေကြွတ်တယ်လာတဲ့အချိန်မှသွားပြီးတော့တခါလဲစိတ်ကကပ်ပြီးတော့ပါလာပေါ့လိမ့်ချတော့လည်းဆိုနေတော့မှာအထူးအားဖြင့်ဒီကလမ်းမှာ၃ပိုင်းကြွတ်လိုက်တာတစ်ပိုင်းနှမ်းလိုက်တာတစ်ပိုင်းချလိုက်တာတစ်ပိုင်းဖြည်းဖြည်းလေးရှိမှရတာဖြစ်တော့ဖြည်းဖြည်းလေးကြွဖြည်းဖြည်းလေးလှမ်းဖြည်းဖြည်းလေးချရတာဖြစ်တော့အသက်နိုင်ဆုံးယူတည်ပြီးတော့စိတ်ဆက်ဆက်လေးသူ့ကိုသိအချိန်ရပါတယ်ဖြည်းဖြည်းလေးလုပ်တာပါယူတည်မှုမရှိဘူးစိတ်ဓာတ်မှုမရှိဘူးယန္နာဖြစ်နေမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဉာဏ်သမာဓိမကောင်းတော့ခိုင်မှတ်တဲ့ခါလည်းပဲမကောင်းပါဘူးအတိညာလေးတိုးတက်ဖို့လည်းတိတ်မရှိတော့ဘူးတကယ်လို့တိုးတက်တော်မှအချိန်ကြာရောက်ပြီးတော့ချိန်ကိုကုန်ပြီးမှတိုးတက်တော်ရှိပါတယ်ဒါလည်းတိတ်ကျတဲ့ဆိုတာမရှိပါဘူးဒီတော့ဘုန်းကြီးတို့တွေကတရားအကူကြီးပြတဲ့အခါမှာလာရောက်ပြီးတော့အထုပ်တဲ့ယောဂီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေအလုံးကိုပိဋကကရေဒီစိတ်ဆက်လုပ်ပြီးတော့အတိညာလေးတွေလည်းရှင်းရှင်းလင်းလင်းဖြစ်သွားစေချင်တယ်တရားကိုလည်းပဲရှင်းရှင်းလင်းလင်းကြည့်ပေါ်လို့ရသွားစေချင်တယ်ဒီတရားမှာဒီတရားဟေးဆိုတာကိုလေစိတ်ထဲယုံကြည်မှုတွေဆွဲမြဲပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေလက်မလို့ရှင်တော့အောင်ပေါ့လေဖြစ်သွားစေချင်ပါတယ်
A few days ago, Sayadawgyi began to speak about how to practice walking meditation. And he mentioned that, first of all, one starts out by observing one step at a time, one part for each step, noting left step, right step, or stepping, to relieve aches and stiffness, and also so as not to let the mind wander. And going from there to observing lifting and then placing. As soon as the foot starts to lift up, making the mind stick to the action, the movement of the leg. As soon as the foot starts to drop down, all the way until the end, sticking the mind to the whole movement of the putting down of the leg. And especially the third part, where one observes three parts to each step: lifting, moving, and then placing. To do this slowly, lift up slowly, move slowly, place slowly, as much as one can, so that one can observe carefully. Because when one moves slowly, one has the time to observe carefully the movements each in their time. If one doesn't work respectfully or with meticulous care or continually, then the walking meditation won't be good. And when the walking meditation is not good, the sitting meditation also will not be good, and knowledge will not have a chance to arise. So the teachers have the attitude that they want to help the yogis who have come here. And so they want the yogis to be able to develop clear knowledge, and they want the yogis to be satisfied with the Dhamma, with the practice, even so much so that they never want to let it go. This is what the teachers would like to see.
Padamaso Yogiya Buddha Matharuva Sukwe Forget say outside, take a year or 2 months of body. The Goloma City are you quickly give to her and I said, if you quickly give them a day to start Pola the video. Susie much a quick creative. The West are available for credit. So it is a polar for credit, pouring body. The lawyer on Yogi Ma, the Gurego, this entire to the body. I think so, home focus, stay outside, take a year or Simapa. The move focus, stay outside, take a year or Simapa. I did of matter from my see the door. See a matter from my some progress outside, think a year or Simapa. None progress outside, think a year or Simapa. Some progress outside, think a year or Simapa. I say to Amava. Sujavado some of my top tired, sit up. Yaki body. So, a tendency may be solution, everything, safely say about it. That some who fall about it, some who progress outside, take a year or Simapa. See, I'll say, some who fall out on everything, safely out for would be a don't hour. They all level you do time and same time at a day you see what they do. The some of us see outside take that. Cut you have I will not be too much a thing, I will not too much a thing. Name Suba, there I'm a look at the rest of the tower. Namu Bogasi outside, take a year or Simapa. Namu Bogasi outside, take a year or Simapa. So they can understand every stay outside, take that actually. စိတ်ဆွမ်းအားလေးရတော့အများကြီးပါနေရပါတယ်အဲဒီဆွမ်းအားတစ်ခုရောက်သွားမယ်သုံးခုတစ်ခုလုံးမရှိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့လမ်းလာစားနေတာဘာမှမပြီးမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးအဲလိုဖြစ်တော့ပါတယ်
The first thing for the yogis is to remember that at the moment the object arises, to apply effort and aiming to do this steadfastly. Our whole body is a large field of observation, and within that field of observation, the large field of observation, there are objects newly arising all the time, things to be observed. This is called the object of observation. So every time an object appears, becomes apparent to the yogi, then the yogi must be ready to observe it. And just as in sitting, at the moment of the rising, one has to apply effort and aim each time. At the moment the falling appears, one has to apply effort and aim. So too in the walking, at the moment of lifting, apply effort, aim. Every time do this steadfastly. At the moment of moving, apply effort and aim steadfastly. At the moment of placing, apply effort and aim. Observe steadfastly each time. So let's say we're standing and we're about to lift the leg, whether it's the left leg or the right leg, we're about to lift. So we need to put our mind on the leg that's about to lift. And then the lifting happens, that's the moment of lifting, so we apply effort, mental energy to get the mind there, and we also apply aiming, accurate aim. We have to do this each time, ardent effort to get the mind to the object, and accurate aim so that the mind meets the object directly. The mind must meet the object exactly. We need to always observe like this, and we need to make sure that every time the foot lifts, that we apply effort and aiming. At the moment of moving also, apply effort and aiming each time. At the moment of placing, apply aiming and each time, and effort, aiming and effort each time. So every time we lift, move, or place, these two mental energies of effort and aiming need to be there. And if one of them or both of them are missing, then at that moment, at the time of lifting or moving or placing, one won't know anything if either one of these factors is missing or if both are.
အများစုလူသားတွေဟာတဘောဝစာအတွက်စောင့်နေရေးပေါ်လို့ဖြစ်ဖို့စိတ်ဘက်တော့အားရအသုံးချကြပါလားဒီလောက်အောင်လည်းအသုံးချတာလည်းရှိပါလားဒါပေမဲ့လို့ဒီအသုံးချလိုက်တဲ့အားတွေကလူပိသားဖို့နဲ့လူတို့စိတ်ထားတတ်ဖို့လူပညာရှိပြီးတော့လူတက်လူဖြစ်ဖို့ကိုယ်ကြည်တရားနဲ့စပ်ပြီးတော့တကယ်လူထိတ်တန်းသာဖြစ်ဖို့ဆိုတာမပါပါဘူးခုမှတော့အင်အားတွေပေါ့လေဒီလောက်သုံးဆနိုင်လို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီမှာဘဝမှာကတည်းရှိနေတော့တဲ့တရားတွေအထုတဲ့ခါမှာတ ပို့ပြီးတော့စိတ်ဆက်ဆက်အသုံးချတတ်ဖို့သိအရေးကြီးပါတယ်အစိမ်းကြိုလိုလေးနဲ့သုံးချလိုက်လို့ရှိရင်တဘဝစာအတွက်ကိုဟိုတန်တရားစာအတွက်ကိုကိုယ်မှာအမဂ္ဂကျရှိတဲ့တရားတွေရသွားမှာပဲဒါကြောင့်မလို့ခွေးတို့ကယောဂီတွေကိုအထူးတိုက်တွန်းနေရတာပါဘဝအမဂ္ဂကျသိကြတဲ့ဘဝအမဂ္ဂကျတကယ်လိုအပ်တဲ့ဘဝဗံကျရောက်ပြီဆိုလို့တိုက်တွန်းနေရတာပါ
Most people just think about getting enough materially for one lifetime. They just think about what they need in this one life. And for this, they use their energy. But using our effort in this way for getting things materially won't make us a true human being. It won't purify our mind, and it won't help us to develop special human knowledge. So it doesn't amount to keeping moral behavior. It won't make our behavior good, and it also it doesn't have, just making our living doesn't have the capacity to make our status of life high. So being in the area of practicing Dhamma, we should apply our effort to this work, because it is not just for one life, it's for many lifetimes in samsara. We can get a guaranteed type of happiness. We can get a benefit that is guaranteed. Because Sayadawgyi wants us to get this type of guaranteed benefit for our life, he's urging us in this way.
ဒီတော့ပေါ်ချင်းအာရုံတည်ရောက်အောင်လို့ဘုရားအဆက်ရတာနဲ့စိတ်ဓာတ်တက်ကြရတာဟာယောဂီမှာအမြဲတမ်းစိတ်ကတိုင်းလိုအပ်တယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေဒီအတိစိတ်ကလေးအမြဲတမ်းရှိထားဖို့သိပြီးရှိပါတယ်အဲဒီစိတ်လေးရှိထားလို့ရှိရင်သရဂတန်ဉာဏ်တပ္ပယတန်ဉာဏ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေကျိုးရှိဖြစ်နိုင်တဲ့ဒီရှိမှုလေးကပေါ်လာတာပါပဲအဲဒီဒီရှိမှုလေးရှိလာလို့ရှိရင်နောက်ကဝိရိယတို့ခန္ဓာအားစိတ်မှုဝိရိယတို့စိတ်ဓာတ်မှုဆိုတော့ပေါ်လာတာပါပဲ
As soon as the lifting arises, one has to always put the mind there. And because of that, making that effort, the mind will be alert. Alertness will come. And also meticulous care will come from continually making the effort to put the mind on the lifting as soon as it happens. And further respect for the practice will come. And so when these are present, because one is applying effort to observe the lifting as soon as it happens, the mind is not cool. It has this ardent effort. And the mind is alert. It's not sluggish or lazy. This type of effort is called ardent effort. Atapa in Pali. The mind is established, is settled on the lifting. In the mind stream, the continuity of mind possessing virya, energy, is occurring. This mind is free of kilesas. It's free of laziness and the other kilesas, because these are prevented from occurring. And as soon as the lifting arises, one aims so as to be accurate, so that the mind meets the object accurately. Because of aiming, the mind doesn't slip off the object. It's established, fixed on the object. So we should consider how the mind is at this point. When we always apply effort, then the mind is alert. It's not sluggish. With aiming, the mind is fresh. These two factors, the application of ardent energy and accurate aim, are what the yogi needs every second of the time. So one should try to nurture these two factors. And the attitude of always trying to have aiming and effort. When you do this, then the two types of clear comprehension that Sayadawgyi mentioned, Panca Padhaniyanga, the understanding of what is beneficial and what is not beneficial to do, the understanding of what is suitable and what is not suitable to do, will arise. And because of those two types of clear comprehension, effort and aiming will arise again and again.
Every warrior that he has a killer that somehow, every state to them, the Tarakata will not have the Slicky Yorava. She's a warrior and not to be seen. So that he has saw one another. သိရှိတော်တယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီမှာခုနဝိရိယလည်းပဲအစိတ်ပြီးတော့ဝိရိယတွေအချိန်တက်လာတာပဲအဲဒီဝိရိယကအကောင်းလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အခက်ခဲတွေကိုဒီဆိုင်ရေးတော့တာပဲတတိလည်းပိုကောင်းလာတော့ပါတယ်တတိကောင်းလို့တတိယလည်းနောက်ပိုင်းကစိုးစိုးကြီးမှတ်မိလာတာပဲစိုးစိုးကြီးမှတ်မိပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်စိတ်ကဘယ်မှမပြေတော့ပဲလေအဲဒီမှတ်မိရအာယုံမှာပဲစူးစက်ပြီးတော့ခါတဲ့ကို ဆက်ပြီးတော့ငြိမ်းချနေတာပဲလားအဲ့ဒါကနောက်ပိုင်းဖြစ်လာတာပဲ
Like that, when virya, sati, and aiming are occurring, in that mind, pasada sada, or clear faith, arises. It comes into the mind. And this has the quality of making the mind clear, not muddy. So when the mind becomes clear like this, because of the type of faith that arises, to the extent that one applies effort, its momentum increases. And this virya is courageous. It is courageous enough to meet anything. Sati also becomes better. And at that time one is able to observe steadfastly. The mind doesn't go anywhere else. It just falls calmly and collectedly on the object of observation. This comes later.
So after zero, see us see not that zero. The teacher Melotan see the level filler, the teacher filler. Somebody level filler, I will set the channel. Said a tutor. Finish it, Harry tutor, at a Pavana Korabe. Said a little father, say to really about at a Pavana. The minister. Second month house, so the second month to change that way. The 3 months house, body. But you see, outside the level, you can do matter at all. See the eye, see that eye, see the eye. Puna Mama would be a lady to be called a eye. The TV is sit a eye. She was a eye. There are down salaries here. Satu Juba Atomu Travel. Because they don't see a few one that day. A few goes to cut it, Jolunati, no more than that, you will send over the Juba Atomu Travel. So you would really see those Travel. You look see me out at another about it. I look see me out. So this is a set of I told maybe so they say no to Toku ha Yogi Pita Zakubabi.
If one applies effort and accurate aim every time one lifts the foot, then sati also occurs each time, as well as clear faith and samadhi, concentration. This is called developing the mind. This mind is progressing, and this is called bhavana. This collection of mental qualities is also called bhavana. If in 1 minute, every second, one applies effort, then there will be clear faith, the mind will be clear. The effort will get better, sati will occur, and the mind become collected. If we look at what is the initial cause for this to happen, it is making initial effort. And when one meets difficulties, there's a tendency for laziness to come in, one backs off. And at that time, one boosts one's effort. So this also is the cause for the situation, the bhavana mind to arise. And if one can practice to reach this stage, then this is the start of being a true yogi.
အဲဒီလိုဖြစ်သွားတဲ့အခါမှာသောမှုဘောကဆရာဆိုင်ချိန်တိုင်းမြတ်စွာရှိမှာပါဒီခိုက်ကမှာခုနသောသောပိုင်းကပြောခဲ့တဲ့စိတ်ကြီးကျဲတယ်ပေါ့လေအပြင်းထူတာလေစိတ်ကြီးဆောတော်မောထွက်တာလေအတိမဲ့တာလေစိတ်ကူးဆိုင်မှုမရှိလို့တောင်ပြေးရောက်ပြီးတောင်ရောက်ရောက်တာလေရတော့အကာမဂုဏ်အယောင်ကြီးရောက်တာလေဒါတွေပေါ့စိတ်ရတဲ့စိတ်ကြီးကြီးကိုခေါ်ပါတယ်စိတ်ကြီးကြီးကင်းစင်ဝေးတဲ့ခုနအမှတ်ကလေးကိုပြီးသားသွားလို့ရှိရင်ကင်းသွားတာပဲအမှတ်ကလေးတစ်ခုနဲ့တစ်ခုဆက်နေလို့ရှိရင်ဝေးသွားတာပဲကင်းစင်ကျဲလို့ဝေးသွားတာအဲ့ဒါဟာလည်းကျိုးပဲဆိုတော့နားလည်ဖို့ပါပဲစိတ်ကြီးကြီးကင်းစင်ဝေးအဲ့ဒါတော့နောက်ပိုင်းက
counting a number ဟမ် counting a number
ဒီအပံတွေဟောဖြစ်လာတာဒါနည်းရမှာပဲအဲ့ဒါတိတ်ပြီးသတ်မှတ်ချက်ပဲဒီလိုလုပ်ရင်ဒီကျိုးနောက်ပိုင်းကကတ်လိုက်လာတယ်ဆိုတော့ဗောနော်
When it occurs like this, at the moment of lifting, one applies effort, accurate aim, and observes steadfastly. Then the mental defilements, the dirt of the mind, for example, thick laziness, the mind slipping off the object, forgetfulness, the scattered mind, because there's no collectedness of mind, and for the most part, this means going to objects of sense desire. All these things are called the dirt of the mind, and this dirt is removed because of the application of effort and aiming and steadfast observation. So not only are they removed, but if the observation is continuous, so that one moment follows another, these are far removed. And this is the present benefit of the practice. So these benefits are sure to come from application of effort and aiming.
Every month, I will not in a day or you do and the body part over. After the same hello, when I saw that Martin said, you are your poor job to tell her. Take the ball, such a citizen. The guy at the cruise is very low dollar. Every eye on the statement. Say, you know, put them away. I want to see you, put them away. See, we see how you are. Go on now, go on now, I will see no one else. I will not see you the law. The number is just a little later. You don't have to go now, you don't have to like that. That is the war.
In that moment of noting, there's aiming, which is a jhanic factor. Because of accurate aim, the mind connects with the matter that happens in the moment of lifting, and one knows that in the lifting it gets light and goes up. One knows also the intention to lift occurring in a series. So the mind connects effectively with the object. It's as though it rubs against the object. This follows on the accurate aim, and at that time the yogi understands very well. So to the extent that the mind connects accurately with the object, as though it's rubbing against the object, there's satisfaction, a feeling of well-being, and joy and calm. This is the nature of jhana.
Every single yogi atuvara pyoza pura in Kino. You don't need a mother to do single yoga for another. As a do, Mata on level, Mana on level, Sinaga Yakabi. Any pine out here, Sarema to have a teacher who said to me, she wanted to blame her. When I feel the same way she said it, a pine out what she was there. I want to say, you take this away. Maybe Mamma, you get there on the era of the yard of the Sabbath.
So yogis who reach this stage start to be happy with the practice, and they understand that because of the practice this good situation arose, so they know to keep on trying to continue so that they will continue to get good results. So they learn a lesson in how to do the practice. And this stage is called Citta-Visuddhi, purity of mind. The mind is free of defilements, free of mental dirt, and also calm starts to arise.
Sona Namo Tona So Tio Mamma Travali Sukiana Nadiana Yokia. A few nobody, 12 of them out either. The lady has seen the God of God at Hama. Oka, you don't like it. Pop of the take out of the body. A simple body, final, Janga a pine was either. Surgeon is a little bit or surgeon is water. Surgeon is a Nadia, sorted at the Yukias of the body, either the Panca Padhaniyanga. Same Malaysia and all. Everything really I see to argue for me so they say, surgeon is a Saudi adult. Surgeon is a Judia for the body, sound is so. Sister with a team in the Ramada. You know, you sound so to you, Mamma. You don't see that. Pama Luhum, Tayo with Anameda, Jamada, Jovesa, Pama Singanum Low. Sorry, I come her. Nidia, say as I say, another video. Mother, I will never get a put a video. Say that everybody else have a selection, no, say they can't see video. To be a thing, I don't know if it's so yogi. The poor I only money in the body, sit at the base of our body. Made on the seat of your Kimalovu. To the middle of Kimalovu. The name of body, see the road, you don't give up. Could it be the name of our body? David Jabara. The number that whether somehow still me a poor Yuki. So you give 20 times 20, let's say, and all a periodic, the cattle and the cattle are there. So you know, somebody is over here, no? Poor as a few polar are there. So it's a woman of it. So the number that whether somehow still me a few months, no music together. A period of Yuki Babu, 20 at the Yuki Bare, ခုတရားထုတ်တဲ့အခါမျိုးမှာလည်းပဲအထုတ်တဲ့နည်းသိသိချာချာသိထားဖို့သိရကြည့်တယ်ဒီဖို့လည်းပဲပေါ်တဲ့အောင်နဲ့မတက်စိတ်နဲ့တဲအောင်အဲ့ဒီရောက်သွားအောင်စိတ်အားစိုက်မှုနဲ့တဲအောင်သိသားကြပြီးတော့မှတ်ပြီးတော့မိမိအလုပ်ပဲခုနကဏ္ဍတွက်တာနဲ့အတူတူပဲဒါပဲရှိတယ်ဒီတော့ဒါလေးအထုတ်လို့ရှိဘာတွေဖြစ်လာမလဲဆိုတော့စိတ်ကမှုမျိုးတော့အဲ့ဒါမျိုးတော့အရှင်းမရှိတော့ပါနဲ့အဲ့ဒါမျိုးထားလို့ရှိရင်တော့တလားအထုတ်တယ်ဘာမှထူမှာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးနှစ်လားအထုတ်တယ်ဘာမှထူမှာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးတစ်နှစ်အထုတ်တယ်ဘာမှထူမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုတော့အောင်နဲ့မစိတ်နဲ့ဖြစ်ပြီးမိမိမရှိလို့ပေါ်တယ်ဒီမှာသာပါပဲဒီတော့ရရှိတဲ့အချိန်လေးကိုယောဂီပြီးပေါ့လေစက်ကလေးအာယုပေါ်တော်နဲ့ဒီရတဲ့စက်ကလေးဆိုဒီကစိတ်ရောက်တော့တွန်းအားနဲ့တဲအောင်လို့ပေါ့လေချိန်အားလေးစိတ်ကနေမလားရှိနေဖို့စိတ်လိုအပ်တယ်ဆိုတော့ပေါ့လေကိုပြောတဲ့အတိုင်းနားလည်ပြီးတော့ယုံကြည်ကြည်နဲ့စိတ်ကလည်းကအထုကြဖို့ရံပေါ်လေဒီလေးလေးလေးနဲ့တိုက်တွန်းပါလား
When this mind occurs continuously, the clean mind, and this clean mind becomes well developed, full of energy, then one is sure to see mind and matter, matter and mind occurring. And one sees that when one observes the lifting, it's as though it's pushing up from below, or it gets light and goes up. One sees that this happens bit by bit in a gross way. And one also knows the intention to lift, which is mind. The intention, mind, and the lifting, the matter or rupa. One distinguishes these clearly. When the mind becomes full of energy at this stage, one sees that there's a series of intentions to lift the foot. And because of this series of intentions, there's a series of lifting matter occurs in a series. One comes to know this. There's no need to think about cause and effect. Simply at the moment of lifting, observe effectively so that the mind rubs against the object, so that the mind is clean, because then knowledge will arise automatically. Some yogis ask, well, what is it that I'll know? What is it that will happen when I note this? One should just observe, and by observing in the method shown, one will get the answer. When we're working a math problem, the method of working out the problem is what is most important. And each step of the way, when we apply the method, we get closer to the answer. And then the answer emerges. So it's not so important to know the answer. What is important is to know the method. And at this stage in the practice, now that you're practicing, what is important is to know the method of practice accurately. And to make accurate aim and apply effort to observe the object every time it appears. There shouldn't be any asking, what is it that will appear? So if one asks questions like this without applying aim and effort, then it doesn't matter if one practices 1 month, there won't be any knowledge developed. 2 months, no knowledge. 1 year, there won't be any difference, because the mind is not observing the object effectively. So what is needed is the energy of pushing the mind to the object, and also the energy of accurate aim. And Sayadawgyi hopes that all of you will have confidence in this and apply this method wholeheartedly, confidently. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.